At my second bench press meet I ever did, I benched 700 pounds. That was 17 years ago. I benched 700 pounds at 242. So that's when people's like, who's this dude? I didn't know what I was doing. About 11 years old, my dad bought me the old Sears Roebuck concrete plastic weights. And we put them out on the porch. I didn't know what I was doing. Back in those days, we only had Muscle Fitness magazine, shit like that to read. And whatever there was the training regimen or workout of the month is what I would do. I didn't know what I was doing. When I turned 15 years old, my dad thought it was time for me to start training at a gym because I was progressing, getting a little bit better. They didn't have weight training in high school back in those days. Long story short, met some guys, started lifting, and they sort of introduced me to benching at a powerlifting meet. Benching was my favorite lift. I took a lot of enjoyment in it. I just thought it was cool because nobody ever asked me, what do you deadlift? And I went with them. And I thought, man, this is what I want to do right here. My first meet that I ever did, I was 20 years old, so I've been competing for 27 years now. I think I might have benched like raw, this was raw. I think I benched like 405 at my first meet at 20. And then by the age of 25, I benched 500. I progressed to that point. Then I got up to about, my next one was about 520. By the time I was 30, I was still doing bench only, no full power. Then I got introduced to gear. Back in those days, it was canvas and denim shirts, single ply shit, not the type of stuff we have now. So I saw some guy at a meet with this denim shirt come out and he benched like 600 pounds. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And I was just like, now I need to do this. This is what I want to do next. So of course we went and bought these denim shirts, didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we immediately about got ourselves killed because we had no fucking clue what we were doing. And the internet was not as prominent as it is now to where you can just Google anything and figure out how to do anything. So we had no fucking clue what we were doing. So we started lifting with them. I went to a meet, and my first bench only multiply meet, not knowing what the hell I was doing, I benched 630 pounds and just missed 650. That was my very first meet. So some guys that changed my life forever was at that meet. If you know who Travis Mash is, Travis was a member of elitefts many, many years. He's an alumni member. I met him, Chris Mason, some few other guys that lived probably about 3 hours from me. And they just came up to me one day and said, man, who are you? What's your name? I told them, and I was like, I knew who they were, but I was not established enough for them to know who I was yet. So they introduced me to start training with them. And I drove 2.5 hours twice a week, every week, for probably 2 years to go train with these guys. During that 2-year time frame, they was like, we got to get you in another bench press meet. So it's probably about a year had passed since my first. At my second bench press meet I ever did, I benched 700 pounds. That was 17 years ago. I benched 700 pounds at 242. So that's when people's like, who's this dude? So up to this point, I have benched over 700 pounds in 4 weight classes: 242, 275, 308, and super heavyweight. I was a circulation director for our local newspaper for about 15 years, and for another newspaper in another town. That's what I did for quite some time. I've graduated from Gardner-Webb. I have my bachelor's degree in business, and I was able to utilize that degree in what I was doing then. The newspaper business over the last several years has taken a major decline because everybody's going digital media. But in our community, we have a very older community, so these people love a newspaper. They want their coffee in the morning. They all drive to fucking Hardee's. They sit in the same parking spot you know what I'm saying? They park the same place. So lucky for us, it wasn't affecting us as bad as I thought. And one day our publisher just came in and said, look, we're laying off 130 something people across the board from this area of North Carolina to this area of North Carolina, and I was one of those affected. So that day I left, went and talked to my good friend Travis Reinert, who's a good friend of mine. He trains at the gym. Travis owns the best body shop in the area, Western North Carolina. He's the man. He can do anything. I drive out there to tell him. I was like, Travis, told him the story. He's like, dude, that's the best fucking news I've heard all day. And I said, how's that? I just lost my goddamn job. He said, I need somebody to run my business. And I know you know how to do that. He said, I don't want to fuck with people. I just want to do my job. I need somebody, a face and a voice, and who knows how to take care of the money and the financials of this business. It probably took me over a year to get things turned around. I built him a website. I put him all over social media to give him a presence. Business is really taking off. We got our money situation taken care of. We got a lot of things going. So I introduced an idea to Travis. I said, dude, we do everything here, everything, except one thing. I said, you know what we need? This community needs? We need a professional detail shop here. I'm talking a true detail shop, not a car wash. He said, that's a great idea. Who's going to run that? I said, me. It took about a year and a half for it to really grab. We probably, unequivocally, I think we have the best detail shop in all of Western North Carolina. To put things in perspective, we are booked 10 weeks out. So if you follow anything that I do on Instagram, Facebook, or anything, you see the cars that we do. We do motorcycles, trucks, cars, boats. We do everything. So I have a very physical job, but it's an enjoyable job. I don't work for nobody. Travis and I work together. We have a great business, and to the community that I live in, that I love our small town. It allows me to even reach out to more people, see more people, build our business, build our brand. Seeing people, because if you get to see our work, the before and after pictures and videos, it's pretty dope to see the skills that we have, that we can provide. And we're a detail shop and a body shop. So now when people come to get something fixed, like a bumper or a hood, hey, y'all detail here too, right? We put ceramic coating on it, machine compound. I mean, we do it all. So that's the long of that. I know it's a very long answer, but I wanted you to at least kind of know where I started at. I was an electrician for 15 years too, so I have a lot of skills. Wow. We train 4 days a week. We train on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays. We have a men's group. We have our women's group. The girls train squat on Mondays. The boys train deadlift. Wednesday is an accessory day, supplemental movement day, work on weaknesses. Friday, the boys squat, girls pull, and on Sundays, we all bench. To ask what kind of training we do, I don't have a cute nickname or, what we call it. I have taken ideas and information that I have received from some of the top brains in this sport over 20 plus years. And I'm like, I like that. I don't like this. I like this. And I like that. And then I add mine into it. So we don't call it any cute little phrase or name or title or anything like that. I also like to coach off the cuff, because what you do and what you need is not necessarily what he needs. When anybody starts with me, we start very basic. I'm not going to let people pull in gear, because you have to earn that. We have a prerequisite at our gym. You have to have a pro total raw to get in multiply. So it gives them something to work for. Everybody that starts new is treated the same. You load plates, you spot, keep your fucking mouth shut, listen and learn. Earn your keep and respect in our gym. My gym is private. It's not open to the public. I don't invite people to come to my gym. In a small town where we live at, everybody knows, like, there's this guy in our community who's the basketball coach. Everybody knows who he is. I'm the weightlifting guy, powerlifting guy. Sometimes, for some reason, we're considered bodybuilders. And I'm like, that's not what we do, but you know. But anyways, if we do one thing that people in powerlifting would understand, we use a lot of reverse band method with the bench, with the deadlift, with the squat. I consider it sort of complicated to explain to people because if you don't train there, to put it in perspective, not that we're West Side, but Jason Coker said something that always resonates to me. He said, all these people that think they're training West Side, you don't train fucking West Side unless you train at West Side, okay? You don't train Nebo unless you train at Nebo. But I do like to use reverse band a lot. I think that most people, when they started to learn how to ride a bike, had training wheels. I like to look at reverse band training as training wheels. We have 16 active lifters right now. Amongst that 16 lifters, we have 26 open pro totals, raw and multiply combined. I'll put that number against any fucking gym. Everybody's laughing. Yes, unfortunately. I have had 4 knee surgeries, just like we spoke of earlier. I tore my ACL here, not at this facility, the old one, on the last squat of the day. So, and then I went ahead and coached the rest of the day with a torn ACL, so that was brutal. But I've tore my ACL. I've had both of these knees fixed. I have 4 titanium screws in this knee. I have torn this bicep. I have broken this arm. I have torn my labrum. My pec is not there. I have broke my wrist, and this shoulder probably needs to be replaced. And then some people are like, why don't you just go get this shit fixed? Because my window's doing this. And there's still some bucket list things that I want to achieve that I still feel like I'm capable of. I don't want to be like an aging boxer that feels like he still needs to keep getting in the ring and he's getting his ass beat because he thinks he's still got it. I just benched a 5-pound PR today. Now, if you ever watched Dave Hoff on West Side versus the World, the sentence he said that resonates with me to this day is that I trained 3 years for a 5-pound PR. I just trained 8 years from recovering from injuries and surgeries for a 5-pound PR today. So I still have some in the tank. I still have some fight left in me, and there's some goals that I want to achieve. And how does a leader lead if he doesn't lead by example? I can't quit and I can't give up. So I need to lead. So. You know, some people would answer that probably much differently than I'm about to. I think that I've had a pretty decent career as a powerlifter. I think my longevity speaks for itself. I don't know how many guys in the sport can say they've been competing at this moment for 27 years at a high level, not a senior citizen just going to, in a Masters 8 division trying to win a squat for 350 pounds. Not that I'm hating on that. But I think that I've had some pretty good success at a long period of time at a high level in this sport, raw and multiply. But I get more enjoyment coaching my lifters, seeing their success. I like to tell Dave, I like grassroots coaching. I don't want a made lifter at my gym. I don't. I want somebody I can mold that's never been an athlete, that's never done nothing athletically, that can walk in my gym, has 2 left feet, and they've never been under a squat bar. Give me 5 years with that person. I'll turn them into something. And we've proven that unequivocally year after year after year after year after year. I want my legacy to be not on a Louis Simmons type level. That's not what I'm getting at, but I would like to be mentioned as one of the great powerlifting coaches for my era in the middle of nowhere for what we do. You wanna know how much I charge my team? Nothing. They lift for free at my gym. They're all sitting here. They know that. I've never charged a dime in 21 years for my training and my time. Not once. With all the traveling we do, you need to pay for my room. I don't care if it's 1 lifter or 20 lifters. I'm going. I want to see them achieve. I want to see them do well. It's not about me anymore. So my legacy is I want to give back as much as has been given to me throughout the years that I've been coaching. I could sit here and give you a litany of individuals that have taught me and showed me and given me. And one of them said to me a long time ago, said, Joey, if anything you can do in this sport, give back to what each of us are giving you right now. And that's what I'm trying to do. What's our phrase? Live, learn, pass on. That's what I'm trying to live.